Okay,
Great.
close your eyes, Christian.
Eyes are closed.
Jim.
So crazy. I don't know what he looks like. My eyes are closed. When can I open my eyes?
We'll tell you.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared.
It's Halloween and I'm scared.
Hold on.
Where am I? I don't know where I am. It's a couch. What do I do? Where is everybody? Don't scare me. I want to open my eyes so badly, but I can't. I want to look at you. Where are you? Oh, you're close to me and I don't like it. I'm so scared right now, for real. Can I open my eyes?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Happy Halloween. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another floaty episode of Anything But Politics. As always, my name is Pennywise, the Dancing Clown, and I'm here with...
Georgie, also known as the man with the yellow jacket.
the man with the yellow jacket. That didn't get recorded, unfortunately.
I didn't. They won't know that joke.
So if you'd like to... Because it is, I think even in hindsight, it is funny. It wasn't one of those, you had to be there. Like, you could explain it.
I looked at this jacket. Sorry.
Yeah. And you were recollected back to Curious George.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, am I going to be... Because I didn't know what my costume was going to be today. So I saw the bag, and I was like, ooh, it's a yellow jacket. And I was like, am I going to be the man with the yellow coat? And I was like, I'm such a moron. It's jacket. Man with the yellow jacket. And Jim looks at me and goes, hat? Man with the yellow hat. So, but no, I'm Georgie from the hit
Curious
series
Georgie.
It. The It series from the hit
series It.
hit series It.
The Hit series.
Yeah, the hit it's the hits it. Whoa.
No, that's
I'm
excellent.
Georgie. Yeah.
Curious Georgie, and the man in the yellow jacket.
Seth and Merlin are talking.
I said Seth, and then I sent a picture of you.
What?
You, man.
What about me?
You
You
look nuts,
screenshot
dog.
that so fast.
And Seth said, okay.
He said
I said,
okay. Lowercase. Why does that look like smaller font than
It does look
lowercase?
really small. Oh man. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Look-
I've never said that in the history of this show, and I decided now would be the time to say thanks for coming.
Thanks for joining again.
Thanks
Back for another Halloween episode, our second ever.
Ooh, we're in a different studio than last year.
Yeah, we've gone through two since that studio.
It's a good track record.
This is our second annual Halloween episode, and we said, and we can even play the clip. We can roll that back. I'll do a little dream sequence really quickly. We said that we had to do the last one right. Our first Halloween episode had to be done right, and I think we did it right. I listened to it like last week.
It's good.
And I'm still proud of it. The audio sounded good. The video looked good. The costumes were great. And just good vibes. And do you remember what we talked about?
It's the same color.
Wow.
Like exactly the same shade and everything.
Maybe the camera's not even picking it up.
Probably
Can
not.
you see that?
You can't see it.
Okay, now hold it away from the jacket.
Oh.
Whoa, it's like you took a piece of your jacket.
It did. Sorry.
He's got a now and later, folks at home. He's got a now and later that is
Banana flavored.
ooh, I was about to say lemon or banana.
I thought it was gonna be lemon.
No, it's banana flavored.
Banana
And
flavored.
it looks like his coat.
It does because it's yellow.
Because it's yellow. We said that the first one had to be done right, and I think it was. But we said it had to be done right because everyone remembers the first Halloween episode, the classic, the OG Halloween episode. And then we said exactly, no one ever remembers the second annual Halloween episode.
So it doesn't matter what we do right now. You guys are not gonna remember.
You've probably already clicked off, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
We could go home.
Let's do that.
Let's do the sorrow in your voice.
I don't want to do this anymore.
We have what? After this, 4 episodes, and 2 bonus videos, and 1 photo shoot. And if you want all of that content in full, and there's just going to be so much of it, you can just go to Patreon.
One could say too much.
The link is in the episode description. You can check it out there. It's Patreon. Everything that we do in the month of October, of course, will be available to all patrons of any tier. So even the $1 a month tier, hey, we love you guys as much as we love everyone else. Everyone gets the October content.
If you're not like, if you don't like totally fuck with the podcast and you're like, I don't think I could take any more of this, the other videos we do are nothing like the podcast.
Oh, and they'll get a taste of that here. We're going to put shorter,
Yes.
condensed versions of that bonus content here for everyone to get.
Absolutely.
And everyone to see and everyone to enjoy. And if you catch the vibe of that, because it's going to be a completely different vibe than the show, than the podcast. If you do catch a vibe with that, you can get that more in full.
Catch a vibe.
You can catch a vibe over on Patreon. Anything but politics. It's in the episode description. You.
I'm gonna eat way too much candy. Chuckles.
Do you like it?
They're good, dude.
Yeah, I thought if you liked gumdrops, you'd like Chuckles.
I do like gumdrops. I've never heard of Chuckles.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Until I bought that thing. You okay, dog?
No.
Okay. So, last year, do you remember what we talked about?
Halloween.
We did talk about Halloween. We talked about Halloween of years past, like our first costume, our most memorable or hardest to wear.
Now we need to talk about Halloween's future.
Oh?
What are you doing next year?
I didn't know what I was doing today until yesterday. We were at Spirit Halloween and did we spend like 2 hours in Spirit Halloween? Spent 2 hours in there, spent $250. Not all on this. This was relatively like a fine price, but also like he's a cosplayer and photographer, so we bought a couple things.
So it's like a kid in a candy store.
It always is.
Yeah, and there was one thing that I regret not buying.
What's that?
The articulating skull mask.
Yeah.
That's
Why
pretty
didn't we
cool.
buy that? We're gonna go back.
Can we go back like now?
It's cute. There's a coupon that we got sent for like 20% off any item, and it says right on it. It was like valid through this date, and also like, hey, associate, after you scan this, rip it in half and throw it away, so it can't be like reused. After like we bought everything, she just handed it back to me and said, "Put this in your bag. Use it again. Next time you come in, use it." I said,
That's
That's how you get return customers, to be
Yeah.
honest. Because like, if you only have one use and you only have one coupon, what's going to bring you back to that store?
Damn
What if I
straight.
forgot part of my costume? Dog, what if I forgot part of my costume? I need to go back. Why would I go back? Not there. Come
Yeah,
on.
order it online.
Yeah, order it online.
It's cheaper.
Right? But it might
Unless
not
you
be
have a
cheaper unless you have a
coupon.
coupon, 20% off. So, yeah, she gave that right back to us, and
That's
we
so
can get 20% off that articulating mask.
Today? Right now.
Right now.
If we went to Spirit Halloween.
You just vlog it. This episode is not an actual in-studio episode. It's a vlog to Spirit Halloween. That's probably the third year, isn't it?
That's a third year thing. Yeah.
That's a third year thing, is you got to do it from inside the Spirit Halloween.
That would be fun.
I remember what we were going to talk about today, and I'm really excited for it, actually.
Yeah? What is it?
So, classic internet horror. Yeah. So I think we're ready to get into the meat and potatoes. Thank you for bearing with us through that rambling stumble of an open. But we are both very excited for today's topic, which is classic internet horror. The term creepypasta originates from the term copypasta, which is more widely regarded as things to copy and paste places as a joke, most commonly. An example of a copypasta is the B-movie script, just all of it. Another example is the fitness gram pacer test thing.
So funny.
You just go and you find the blurb and you copy it and you just paste it in forums and it's funny.
Just
That
in
is a
itself.
copypasta.
Neat. The B movie script has become one, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first one I said.
Wait,
Yeah,
did
I said
you really?
Yeah, dog.
You said what?
I said the B movie script and then I said the fitness gram pacer test.
I'm going to be fully transparent and real with you.
Yeah, dog.
I thought you said
Talk to me.
W movie script. And I was like, I've never heard of that, but I'm going to pretend like I know what that is.
Did I say W?
No. You for sure said the B movie script, but I heard W movie script, which isn't really close at all. But
was your hood up?
nope.
Oh,
I think he's just distracted
I
by your milky thighs.
I think I'm
is
just.
it my milky thighs?
You do have milky thighs, and I
Thank you.
am distracted by
I
them.
thought I would shave my legs,
I
but
love
it's fine.
how you like the socks can't contain your calves.
No, they really can't.
Yeah,
You
hold
are
on.
exploding.
This is my
out of
better
those
calf.
things.
There you go.
Damn, bruh. What?
That's
real.
It's from yeah,
That's
that's just from roller skating for 3 years straight. They still haven't went away
wow.
because like I got calves from roller skating for 3 years straight working at Sonic, but I've kept them through walking 10 miles a day at Walmart.
That's true.
Yeah, I got crazy calves. It's a good time. We'll take pictures.
Crazy cat. Did you ever play that game Crazy Taxi? Let's move on.
Copy pasta, but add a little bit of horror, and it becomes creepy pasta.
Ooh.
Now, Hun, would you mind looking up the term copy pasta, making sure I didn't just bullshit all that?
Nah, you did. It's like
I
it's
got
like
it
the
like
fitness,
I got it like 80% right.
Yeah, it's like the fitness gram pacer test.
Is it meant to be a joke or is it
W
just
movie script?
Are copy pastas inherently a joke?
I actually don't think so.
It's meant to annoy people.
It's meant to annoy
Copy
people in
pastas are
forums.
said to be similar to spam, as they're often used to annoy other users and disrupt online discourse.
Yeah, it's just a forum interrupter. And let's go ahead and find that first creepypasta. We'll talk about the classics while he finds the first.
Great.
Which do you know?
I know Jeff the Killer.
Jeff the Killer, classic.
The backrooms are.
Are you
I
saying
don't know.
first creepypasta, like the first one that was?
Yeah, like the first. It's not well known, I don't think. Like I remember like reading about it and I didn't know what it was.
Was it Ted?
Ted. Yeah, right?
What's the one with the mousetrap?
Mousetrap. I don't know. There's a huge one that I'm surprised you got to Jeff first.
Well, so the thing is, I know. I have listened to
Yeah.
like 30 of them.
I
It
love
was-
Creeps McPasta.
Creeps. Wait, what?
There's a YouTuber, Creeps
I
McPasta.
thought you just.
What did you think I said?
I thought you just mistake. I thought you were trying to say creepypasta. I thought you were trying to say creepypasta.
Yeah.
You just like stuttered over your words.
Yeah.
So I just you said creeps McPasta. But
Yeah. He's a YouTuber. He's really good at reading them. He has a
That's
good
awesome.
voice. He has a good voice for it.
That might. How long has he been doing it?
Yeah. Like 7+ years.
Then that's probably what I listened to when I was a kid. Let me hear his voice.
Yeah. I've listened to many of his. There are some really good ones. I'm surprised you haven't hit Slenderman.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah.
No, a lot of people kind of falsely attribute him to just the game. Like, oh, that's a video game card. No, that is a creepypasta.
Yeah.
Before it was a video game, it was a creepypasta. And before it was a creepypasta, it was a edited photo as part of a photography contest. I believe it was. Like, make a scary picture. And the original images of Slenderman were made. And then later adapted into story form. And then later adapted into game form. And that's where it kind of exploded with popularity, which led people backwards down the rabbit hole into creepy. That's his music. That's him. That's Creeps McPasta. I first became familiar with creepypasta in middle school. The earliest memory I have with it.
Excerpt from local newspaper.
This one.
Ominous unknown killer still at large.
Who is this?
Oh, that's the guy you listen to?
Mr. Creepypasta.
Yeah, that's another one that.
Yeah.
That's
He's also huge.
That's the one that
And he's also good. First time I experienced creepypasta was in middle school, and I feel like it had to have been reverse, like exactly the pipeline I just mentioned. Is like I saw the Slenderman game blowing up, like classic YouTubers. I remember PewDiePie was playing it, Tobuscus, like they were playing Slenderman, and I was interested in that. I think I went backwards down the rabbit hole, found it as a creepypasta, and then found others. So that's when I found Jeff the Killer. That's when I found Smile Dog,
I remember that one.
The Rake,
Mm.
Russian Sleep Experiment is
Yep.
one.
Oh no, I haven't.
I want to see how many are on the top of your head. Because I read creepypasta fan fiction, so I'm deep in that shit.
I mean, I don't remember a lot of their names, but I could like give you loose plots, like the Furby that wouldn't die. Like he tried to take the batteries out, it kept talking and like
What do you
dancing.
listen-
I remember someone typing on the computer and he was scared because he like just got an email and like attached was a photo of him from his own closet.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Oh, that's a great one. Oh,
As well
Squidward
as
Suicide.
Suicide.
Squidward Suicide is such a good one. That really got me when I was a kid too. Sonic EXE, oh, classic Sonic EXE.
I listened to a bunch of them in a 2-month period.
Yeah.
And then I listened to one.
The Elephant Man, love the Elephant Man.
I do know that one.
Like the real life elf.
No, like the creepypasta of the Elephant Man. It's very similar.
I listened to one when I was like 14 or 15, maybe.
Yeah.
And I stopped after that. 'cause
We
I
were
couldn't-
way too
I
young
could
to
not
be
sleep.
listening to these things.
Absolutely.
The internet was a terrifying place in the early 2000s. Do you have a favorite?
I just haven't listened to them in so long, so
That's fair.
I wouldn't be able to. If you gave me like a top 10 list, I could choose from that.
Oh, you might be thinking Abandoned by Disney.
Maybe.
The mouse one being
Yeah, I
abandoned
remember
by
that one.
Disney. Ted the Caver is
OG.
OG. So this is list of creepypastas. Just list of them. Slender Man, abandoned by Disney. It's a creepypasta written by Slime Beast about a man exploring an abandoned Disney resort named Mowgli's Palace. The story's climax comes when the man finds a room marked Character Prep 1, which is inhabited by a photo-negative Mickey Mouse mascot that seems to be alive and flees when he witnesses it rip off its own head. Some of these things were kind of written in a lazy way. Just like it describes like a creepy like theme park and like it sets the mood and everything, and it was just like I saw the mouse and it ripped off its head. It was scary.
The evil scary mouse.
It was a scary mouse. It took off its head. Jeff the Killer, story in which Jeffrey Woods is attacked by a group of bullies. His parents force him to go to a party because he's antisocial, where he gets approached by the same bullies, got into a fight. The bullies douse him with alcohol, set him on fire. Jeff becomes insane, carving his face into a smile, burning off his eyelids, killing his family. Douche. Blew up on Newgrounds, stuff like that. Alias Killer Jeff. There's Ted the Caver. It began as an Angel Fire website in early 2001 that documented the adventures of a man and his friends as they explored a local cave. The format of the story is a series of blog posts. As the explorers move further into the cave, strange hieroglyphs and winds are encountered. In the final post, Ted writes that he and his companions will be bringing a gun into the cave after experiencing a series of nightmares and hallucinations. The blog's not been updated since that post. In 2013, an independent film adaptation of the story was released. That's interesting.
You know.
I'm still trying to think of a movie to watch.
Really? You haven't thought of one yet?
I've thought of like one, but I want it to be like a funnier movie or like a bad movie, something that we can find humor in.
You know what we need to...
I just don't want it to be an outright really good movie because like we've talked about the fact it's very boring to be like, oh man, the soundtrack, the cinematography, it's all great, great actors. But like it's funny to laugh at something stupid.
You know what movie we need to review?
What?
Hello, Darling? Is that what it's called?
Oh,
Hello?
Like Harry Styles. and
Yeah.
stuff.
The one that just came out.
Is it out?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's
I'm
like-
seeing it with Leah in theaters.
Yeah?
Even though fuck Olivia Wilde, I hate her.
Word?
She broke my man's heart.
Word? Who's your man?
Jason Sudeikis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
She
fair.
broke his heart to fuck Harry Styles, and now they're not even dating anymore. Fuck her, I hate her.
Now, Russian Sleep Experiment, that's a fun one that I
Good
really
one?
like. So, have you read that one or listened to it?
No.
That's okay. It's one of my favorites, and so I'd like to read you an excerpt.
Please.
Um,
You close my eyes.
and then like maybe depending on how long I remember it being, maybe Patreon can get the full thing. Let me look it up. Russian Sleep Experiment. Okay.
Jim?
Yeah?
Can you read me a bedtime story?
Of course.
Thank you.
Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they had only microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole-sized windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books, cots to sleep, but no bedding, running water and toilet, and enough dried food to last all 5 for over a month. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised falsely that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past, and the general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4-day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering to the microphones and one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects in captivity, with them. At first, the researchers suspected that this was an effect of the gas itself. On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers did something they said they would not do to get a reaction from the captives, and they used the intercom inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any response from the captives they were afraid would be dead. They announced, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a single phrase in a calm voice response. "We no longer want to be freed." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces funding the research. Unable to provoke any more response using the intercom, it was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight of the 15th day. The chamber was flushed of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air, and immediately voices from the microphones began to object. 3 different voices began begging, as if pleading for the life of loved ones, to turn the gas back on. The chamber was opened and soldiers were sent in to retrieve the test subjects. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state that any of them were in fine. The food rations past day 5 had not been so much as touched. There were chunks of meat from the dead test subjects' thighs and chests stuffed into the drain in the center of the chamber, blocking the drain and allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their bodies. In the struggle, one of the 4 living subjects had his spleen ruptured and bled out almost immediately. The medical researchers attempted to sedate him, but this proved impossible. He was injected with more than 10 times the human dose of morphine derivative and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking his ribs and the arm of one doctor. When heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he had bled out to the point where there was more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to attack anyone in reach and just repeating the word "more" over and over, weaker and weaker, until he finally fell silent. The second survivor had been the first of the group of 5 to start screaming. His vocal cords destroyed, he was unable to beg or object to surgery, and he only reacted by shaking his head violently in disapproval when the anesthetic gas was brought near him. He shook his head yes when someone suggested, reluctantly, that they try the surgery without anesthetic, and did not react for the entire 6-hour procedure of replacing his abdominal organs and attempting to cover them with what remained of his skin. The surgeon presiding stated repeatedly that it should be medically impossible for the patient to still be alive. One terrified nurse assisting the surgery stated that she had seen the patient's mouth curl into a smile several times whenever his eyes met hers. When the surgery ended, the subject looked at the surgeon and began to wheeze loudly, attempting to talk while struggling. Assuming this must be something of a drastic importance, the surgeon had a pen and pad fetched so the patient could write his message. It was simple. Keep cutting. The other 2 test subjects were given the same surgery, both without anesthetic as well. Although they had to be injected with a paralytic for the duration of the operation, the surgeon found it impossible to perform the operation while the patients laughed continuously. Once paralyzed, the subjects could only follow the attending researchers with their eyes. The paralytic cleared the system in an abnormally short period of time, and they were soon trying to escape from their bonds. The moment they could speak, they were again asking for the stimulant gas. The researchers tried asking why they had injured themselves, why they had ripped out their own guts, and why they wanted to be given the gas again. Only one response was given: "I must remain awake." But I think that's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's just very well written.
It's so vivid.
Yeah.
It's very, very vivid.
Some of the stuff, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me looking back to the past, but things like Slenderman, Jeff the Killer, I remember Jeff the Killer just not being written all that well.
Yeah.
And it's because anyone could submit a creepypasta. It's just a wiki, it's a forum.
Gnarly.
Yeah, so not all of them are just written very well, but some just have a good enough merit as being like a good concept.
Yeah.
And Slenderman is a great concept, and Jeff the Killer is like a really cool concept, cool visual, and crafting a story to fit that visual was very, I think, loosely done.
Yeah.
But it's still a classic. It's still like one of the like top 10.
Yeah.
And then Russian Sleep Experiment, that's just written very well.
Really
and
well.
It has a cool concept. And it does have a picture, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Because we just learned, and you just told me like a few days ago, that the picture that like blew up the Russian Sleep Experiment.
It's like they took a picture of the last subject, and this is what he looked like.
Oh.
And like that's the story. That's the picture that's linked to the story.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And it's literally a Spirit Halloween prop.
Well, and honestly, like without the story,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This
But,
is
like,
the original prop.
Yeah, like that's nothing.
I'd also just love to talk about the SCP Foundation.
That would have to be its own video.
That would have to be its own video.
Would it have to? We can't tack it on here.
I don't know.
You'd
Like,
have to research,
I don't know
like,
how much.
specific SCPs and.
Oh, I mean,
I
you've
feel
got
that.
the main ones as much as you've got the main creepypastas. You got Peanut. You've got the Shy Guy.
Yep, Shy Guy.
Yeah, but there's someone else's like bread and butter with SCP is completely different to yours.
Hmm?
Like mine is like the book that the song that desires to be finished.
Yeah.
It has to be written in blood, and you basically keep writing it until you die because you can't stop writing it.
Mhm.
There's the teddy bear that makes you grow ears everywhere.
Yeah, those are the more silly ones. There's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but, like,
like the
Like those, I remember I was talking to Stefan about those, and he didn't even know that those were an SCP, and I'm like, those are like the SCPs.
Yeah.
What are you on about?
No, I wouldn't call them the SCPs.
I don't know. The teddy bear ear thing was like,
No, yeah, that's a good one. And I mean, there's also the toaster that makes you want to kill yourself.
yeah.
It's just a toaster that makes you suicidal. That's it.
There's the plague doctor one.
The Plague Doctor.
Plague
That's
Doctor.
there you go. Plague Doctor's top 10.
Mhm.
Like that's one of the
I don't know. Man,
SCPs.
teddy bear ears was like top 10 to me. Always, it was always like I
Yeah.
thought that it was the most like one of the most popular.
There's Shy Guy. There's the Now I don't think Hard to Destroy Reptile is. I don't know if I'd put him at top
The
10.
staircase.
It's just a giant like reptile, like giant like I don't know bearded dragon or type lizard thing, and nothing. He just can't be killed. He's essentially Deadpool. Like you could chop him up into little bits. The bits would live.
Shit.
And he'd grow back.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Acid. Like the
Is
only
he
way
evil?
they can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
Why
like
does
very
he have
chaotic.
to be evil?
He just wants to destroy things.
Why? Make him good. That would be sick.
The infinite staircase.
Oh, that's one of my top 10.
Really?
Oh yeah, just because and especially because I'll go ahead and shout out one podcast that I do listen to is it just called the SCP Foundation? Let me look at it.
Look at it real quick. Just look at it and don't talk for a second. Just look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Yeah, SCP Archives. I listen to the podcast SCP Archives, and they do one on SCP-087, The Stairwell, and I love The Stairwell. It's very good. It's just a pitch black, like, eternal stairwell, and about 200 meters below you, you can hear a child crying and calling for help,
Hey, that sucks.
and the more you follow it, you do not get any closer to the kid, and eventually, it changes. It could be 20 stories down, it could be 50, it could be 100. Eventually you just like because the 3 or 4 researchers that you hear about in the story have like headlamps. And these are high powered military grade headlamps, but they like give you as much light as like a iPhone flashlight.
Yeah.
In this stairwell, their light is like suppressed and they can only give as much power as like an iPhone light.
Damn.
So like they're going through dim as hell, and eventually they just come like face to face with a face. Like they're walking and like in the pitch black, it's just they come across a face. And like
Hey, fuck that.
they just stop and they look at it and they have like an earpiece in and they're talking to a researcher and they're like, is something else fucking in here? And then it blinks. And then like pretty much everyone just starts running at that point. No one does not run at that point.
Bro.
And these people like act it out, like they do like a good vocal performance. They don't just read the story. That's the thing about SCP. With SCP, I see a lot more here's the file, and then it breaks down into like dialogue, and it's like here's a more like cohesive, like scripted story.
Yeah.
That's kind of how they're written. Because you're reading a what is it called? A transcript. You're reading a transcript
Yeah.
of their communication. So it is something that would be in the file.
Yeah.
It's something that would be in the file for the project, but you're getting to read it, so it allows you to give a much more narrative take. And the stairwell is just really well done. Listen to that. I could go through these. I mean, the Plague Doctor's on here. Anti-meme. It's just something that does not desire to be known. So it's a meme is something that you just share around.
Yeah.
Can become widely popular. An anti-meme, like if you put someone in the room with it and then took them out of the room and said, okay, what color was it? They'd be like, I don't know. Was it blue? It could have been, yeah. Was it purple? I suppose it could have been. Was it tall? Was it short? They can't describe it.
Yeah.
Hard to Destroy Reptile. The Old Man is a classic. The Shy Guy's a classic. There's
Dude, how do people come up with this shit?
the Coffee Machine. It's a coffee machine and it just has a QWERTY keypad on it. That's all. And you put a cup under it. And you just type coffee. And coffee pours in the cup. And they went, oh shit. Water went in the cup. They went milk, orange juice, Coke. And it would just come out.
Yeah.
And they were like, fucking piss. And it did it. And they were like, hold on. And they just started putting any liquid in there.
Yeah.
And it would go.
Blood.
Yep.
Cum.
Blood would.
Cum
Would. Like they tried, like they put like a crucible under there, and they went like liquid metal, and like I'm pretty sure that came out. Like they don't know where it comes from. There's no source to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure if you open the machine, it just looks like the inside of a vending machine. But like you could pretty much type anything into that. I'm pretty sure it's like they started to get like what is it? Not existential. They started just getting very observational with it. They were like Jeff's favorite drink, and like a random pink liquid came out, and he was like, "Oh shit, that tastes great!" And like,
wow.
So that one's a very interesting. Oh, beautiful story. I'm glad I'm looking at all these.
Yeah.
Perfectly normal IKEA. A guy gets stuck in an IKEA, and then it's not a normal IKEA. Like after he gets stuck and he tries to find his way out, he realizes that it's much bigger than he thought it was. In fact, he started walking for like what he would call like a mile, and it wasn't gone. And then miles, and then a day. And then like he came across a civilization called like Claims, because like that's the sign that was above them. And they were just like, yeah, this is Claims. There's a civilization over at Restrooms. Have you not run into any of the associates? And he was like, no. The employees of the store have like turned into these like mindless zombies during the day, and at night like they go feral and they attack like animals, and that's why they have walls. They were like, you need to live here because you'll die if you keep moving out there.
What?
And they get attacked every night, and that's very well done. My favorite, I'm not gonna say that any of these have been my favorite. Red Reality, that's it. My favorite is Red Reality. It's about an hour listen if you go to SCP Archives. It is so good.
Yeah.
I like monologues, and that's the whole thing. It's one guy working on a computer terminal, and then like a flash happens, and all of a sudden he's in a different dimension with the computer terminal. And he's just like, shit, he has no way of getting back. So he like goes into the recording module on it, and he's just like, okay, this is my name, this is how old I am, this is where I'm from, this is my wife's name, this is my name, this is how old I am, this is where I'm from, this is my wife's name. And he just starts like repeating it because he can't forget it. He doesn't want to like lose himself. And throughout it, you get this wonderful like performance of this like computer generated voice. Like think Microsoft Sam, like early vocal synthetic. And in the beginning, he's like, how long have I been in here? And he's like, oh, it's been this many hours. Because it took him a while just to find it. Everything's pitch black. There's nothing. He's not in a room somewhere. He's not in space.
Yeah.
It's just black around him. And he couldn't see the console. And then eventually he found the red light on it. And he ends up calling it Red. Because that's the console's name.
Yep.
One, it's his Wilson. He has to talk to someone. Castaway, Wilson.
Great movie.
Watch that if you haven't.
Please.
But he starts calling it Red and talking to it. And days pass. And more days pass. And like he can't eat. And he feels hungry. But he has no food. He feels hungry. But he's not dying.
Yeah.
And he's like not really aging. And he's like in there for so long. And he literally starts like falling apart. It's really well done. He's in there for years. And eventually at the end, well, go find out yourself. It flashes back and it's just covered in viscera. And it comes back in his wife's laboratory because she's also part of the foundation. They both work for SCP. She's part of the foundation. It comes up in her laboratory. And the test she was doing was not intended to find him. She thought he was dead.
Yeah.
But like they were just doing work and then it appeared. And her assistant was like, should I turn the machine off? And she's like, no, keep it on. And he's like, okay. And then she opens the door. He's like, do not go in there. And she was like, I'm going in there. And then she goes in there and she sees the terminal and she's like, this thing is old. We haven't used one of these things in like this many years. She's like, you know, and she sees that there are recordings on it. There's like 50 years of recordings on this thing. And she is already, at this point, she's already guessing. Like she already knows. And she's just like, no. She starts playing it. She hears, this is my name. This is my age. This is where I'm from. This is my wife's name. And she loses it. And like, it's just really well done.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
That's good.
But SCP is, I mean, I just have more experience with SCP because I got into it in my later life when I could be passionate and go down rabbit holes.
Right.
Creepypastas I listened to as like a kid, and I really only got the classics. I didn't really delve too deep. So,
yeah, no, I did a little bit of, I assume you were never like, you weren't like, because even now you're not, one-time listener
of?
Any of the creepypastas. I assume you went back to them.
Oh, yeah, typically.
I listened to them once, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never read them. I didn't read them. I listened to them only, exclusively.
Oh, yeah.
Never read them. Never read one.
Not
a big reader, I was.
I think I read Squidward's Suicide. I don't think I listened to that one. I think I read that one.
I was on the creepypasta.net. Like, I was on the OG, like, wiki of everyone.
No, I was on there. Like, I got on there. And I think that's probably where I read Squidward's Suicide. Because there was, like, a trending page.
Yeah.
A lot of these forums were very well built. You don't see a lot of forums anymore. Classic
that
forums.
Might be for a good reason.
Yeah. Why are forums so hard to regulate? How can we regulate things like social media like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, but not regulate a forum?
Yeah.
Because there are certain things like immediately you try to post a picture and Facebook's like, you can't even post that. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like that violates our community guidelines so hard that we're not even going to like tell you after you post it. You're in the middle of uploading this. Our AIs will be like, whoa, buddy.
A couple weeks ago, I was like, I want to run a marathon. You can't run a marathon if you haven't trained for like a year.
No, but you could in that moment.
I totally could in that moment, yeah.
A 5-minute marathon?
Yeah.
I got a marathon done in 5 minutes.
How fast would you have to?
Miles in like 5 minutes.
Wow. What a beautiful thing to think.
What?
That's exactly how me in high school would have thought.
How fast do you have to go?
The first thing he did was, how fast would you have to run to do a 5-minute marathon?
20, okay. Let me see if I can do it fast. If I can't do it fast, it's not interesting. 26 miles. You'd have to run. Wow. You'd have to run really fast.
$5.2 miles per minute.
5.2 miles per minute.
In 60 seconds, you were to run 5 miles.
You can do that.
And then some.
Can you run a mile in 60 seconds?
No.
Not has anybody ever done it. Can you?
No.
Is it physically possible at all?
I think it would destroy your muscles. Every muscle involved in the running process would Be destroyed.
That sounds scary.
Beyond repair.
What's the fastest you can go? Like the absolute fastest you can run a mile. I think the
If your brain was 100% unlocked.
I think the world record's like 3.5 minutes.
Fastest human mile, 3 minutes, 43 seconds.
Bam.
Oh, man.
What a man who did that.
Elite marathon
If it wasn't
runners
an
average a mile in around 4 to 5 minutes.
Wow.
Still, that's only 5 minutes times 26 miles. 5 times 26.
The fastest I ever did was 6.5. And that was back in high school.
That's 130 minutes, which is like a little over 2 hours of running. Straight running, man. Hey. We talked about SCP a lot more than I thought we'd. I thought we'd talk about creepypasta the whole time. Honestly, that well ran dry pretty quickly, and that's fine. It's not one of the. I experienced it a lot longer ago than I'm currently experiencing. I'm still listening to like SCP videos and SCP podcasts, so I'm a lot more familiar with it, and I don't know why I didn't think just to talk about that. But
I like that we stumbled upon it.
Yeah, good job bringing us there, Merlin. So thank you. Yeah, yay, good guy.
You're welcome for your outfits.
Yeah, thank you. This is great.
Thank you. No, this is lovely. You picked well. It was this or Chucky and Tiffany.
I wouldn't have.
That's Chucky and his wife.
You would have been Chucky?
I would have been his wife.
Love it.
It's
You would've been
Jennifer. Tilly.
Aniston?
Jennifer Tilly.
Oh.
But in a doll body.
Sick.
But
I'll show them.
yeah. Or Morticia and Wednesday Addams.
That would have been hilarious.
And then I would have been Gomez.
Sick. It's good.
Do you want to sync clap for Seth?
Sure.
Thanks.
1, 2,
No,
3.
does that? I don't know if that works. Clapping works.
make sure
I don't know
the
why
same
we're
thing
1,
shit.
2, 3ing. Do you know why we counted?
1.
So we do it at the same time so we could sync our shit.
You
But
don't-
there's only one thing going on here.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nailed it.
You got it. Nailed it in 1.
7,
7, 8, 9.
10.
That's a new SCP.
Count.
Just a forever, like, wait to clap.
Yeah,
You can make it into something.
you could.
Nothing good, but you can make it into something. I think that's genuinely, I think that's how so many of those stories got written, is like, maybe
What if
this
it was-
concept.
what if it was
Did we
scary?
tell them about our like backrooms thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
What if we made a pancake that just like is really mean and insults you while you eat your breakfast?
What if we made maple bacon that just eats ass?
Yeah. That would be sick. That is not a horror.
Would you like to be scared this Halloween? Read Stephen King's It. Well, don't read it. Have it read to you by, I don't know. Did Stephen King read that one? That'd be cool if he did. I don't think he did though.
I don't think he did.
Go to audibletrial.com/ABP to figure out who narrated the audiobook for Stephen King's It.
And then let us know.
In fact, use the credit that they give you to unlock one premium purchase title from over the thousands of available titles on audible.com.
Yeah, waste it on this one.
Don't waste it. It is a good book. It has some weird passages. There's some really weird chapters in there that I don't subscribe to personally and that I don't think is cool. audibletrial.com/ABP, 30-day free trial and 1 free credit to unlock one of their thousands of readily available titles. Go check them out, and that helps us out. And read a book, damn it. We love you guys, and we want to thank you for joining us for the second annual Halloween episode. Did we scare you? Did that story scare you? Seth, I hope you've used music well this episode. Maybe like a lightning strike or something. I don't know.
Ah!
Well, we love you guys, and we'll see you next
I'm
year.
really sorry.
Who knows what will be then? But right now we got a little photo shoot to do. We'll see you next episode. We love you very much. Ready for November?
It's gonna be cold.
Yeah. As if it's not cold now.
Not enough. I need more cold, man.
Oh, you're wanting the cold. Remember, so we're super pumped for November 5th and 6th. We'll be at the Appalachian Renaissance Fair. We're going to have a booth. We're going to be selling stuff. And of course, remember that whatever we don't sell at the Renaissance Fair will be available for sale.
Wow.
And you guys will be able to get that if you want a button or a sticker maybe. So if you live in the Appalachian area, East Tennessee, West Virginia, East North Carolina,
Mountain.
East South Carolina, I don't know. If you live in the Appalachian area, come say hi. Come to the Appalachian
please,
Renaissance
dude,
Fair.
that would be so fun.
Dude, if you do that, I'll just give you a button. If you reference this,
I'll give you a lot more.
If you, what should they say to let us know they've seen
I
this?
like your shoelaces.
That's a Tumblr thing.
I like your.
You have a really nice balls.
That's a good one.
If you say you have a really nice balls, we'll just give you a button.
Man, that's a throwback.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Where's that from?
This is
Thanks. You have a really nice face. Thanks. You have a really nice balls. You wrote it in your notes app at like 2 a.m.
Oh, that's right. Wow, you have really nice balls.
You have a really nice face.
That
Thanks.
is-
You have a really nice balls.
Very dumb.
We love you guys so much, and we will see you in November.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Boo.
No, what is it?
I'm gonna scream again. Is it gonna scare you?
Hey everyone, just wanted to say a super special thank you to our patrons real quick. Jamie, Jess, Kat, Jessica, Sky, and Keith. Thank you so much for being our top patrons. We really appreciate it. You're really doing the most for us. And you know, maybe I might even get paid because of you one day. Thank you so much.
Bro, you looked dummy thick for a minute.
He is
For a
dummy
minute?
thick. What do you mean? He's got a fucking ass, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see.